Hello and welcome back to another edition to GSS Videos live streams. I'm your host, Glenn Sam Sloan, hence the GSS, and videos is what I do. In this video, we're going to talk a bit about the British politics. All right. At the moment, the British politics, or the politics, it's actually saying that they're going to sort of help certain people that keep some services, but the services that they're going to cut, it's actually mainly cut at, say, aimed at sort of the disabled community that needs those services to live their lives. What's going to happen to us, the disabled community? Because I live in supported housing, and that I'm facing my one-to-one hour support being slashed in the gist of stopping, and I need my one-to-one support to help me tidy up my property because it gets on top of me. B, help me take my help me remember to take my medication. All right. Also, sometimes I need some help out in the public eye. All right. But that can't be done if the personal budget gets slashed or stopped, if you know what I mean. I need my hours back, because if I don't, because years ago I lived in mainstream housing and I couldn't hack it. I was getting put on, and people were putting on me, coming in, not leaving when I asked them to leave. So I go to bed. Taking food out of my cupboard, stuff like that. Taking food out of my cupboard, overstaying their welcome, spending the night in my home when I didn't want them to, spending not just spending the night in my when I don't want them to, but even a lot of the time taking my bed. Right. A lot of the time, yes, sometimes I gave my bed up because it was a lady who was, and then I only gave my bed up willingly if if I said, "Oh yeah, you can stay the night," and it was a lady that was staying the night, a lady who's not even my girlfriend. So I was stayed on the sofa and then let her have the bedroom, so she's got the privacy. But if it's a bloke who was staying the night, and I said, "Oh mate, yeah, you can stay the night," he would be sleeping on the sofa, because then, hang on, he's a bloke, he can do it. All right. But for ladies, I'd gladly give up my bed, because in that way she's having a good and decent night's sleep, and she's got the privacy in doing that. All right. But I would not, and I mean not, I do not want to go back to mainstream housing, and then get put on like I did before. I was forced into doing these certain drugs, which I didn't want to do. I was forced into doing that. Right? I had money taken out of my account without me knowing. Right? I had my car vandalized, my old car vandalized when I lived in mainstream housing. Right? I had people putting on me when I lived in mainstream housing. So I've moved away from that town, away from that county, into support. Now I moved into supported living. Right, my support workers, who are still supporting me a little bit, right, can only support me a little bit with my tidying, whatever I need. But because the budget is tight, because the social services are slashing them in due to stopping, because of the budget has been stopped from the government, the British government. Right? The British government making these government cutbacks are mainly facing them and aiming them at the disabled community. That is actually literally killing the disabled community. And that's literally killing the disabled community, because some of us will end up doing just that. So we need to speak up and speak out and join forces, not just the able-bodied people who want to look up and help support the disabled community, but the other any other people with who are also disabled, either learning or physical disabled. Right? Need to stand there, stand strong, and work with each other together as one of us, as a team sort of thing. And this doing these live streams are one way of speaking, standing together and speaking up. All right, this is only one way. All right. So please join my live stream, and I will be doing more. So hopefully, in my future live streams, we can work together and get our voices heard, if you know what I mean. One hour ago, where is my live stream? Where's my post on this timeline? I can't find it. Have our post been removed from a British politics timeline? Why is it been removed? Why? Okay, obviously the adult one. To help me. Oh no, it's there, but it's not been seen. No one's even looked at it. I need it to be looked at. I'll do that. Push it up there, and then refresh. All right. So I can get up there again and get pushed under their noses until I get people to doing a live stream about British politics. Let's join. In the main. Hopefully, it's going to work. In the main. Please join me. On. What's this? Should the Falklands and be handed over to Spain and America? Give back you mean not handed over? No. Anyway, do they want to go back to the Falklands and not want to go back to, say, the Falklands? They want to go back to America? Do they want to be given back? Do they want to be handed back to, say, America, or do they want to stay wherever they are? Labour. No. Hang on, what's this saying? I've just seen something about Labour. And they're like, I don't like Labour. I think Labour are money grabbers. Labour corrected themselves on child care costs, but even the correction is wrong. Ooh, that's not good, is it? Jeremy Corbyn issued the following tweet today as school holidays start today. Many will struggle to meet childcare costs, which have doubled under. Right, itchy nose. As school holidays start today, many will struggle to meet childcare costs, which have doubled under. Right. Cost of summer holiday childcare is rising 4 times faster than earnings the cost of summer holiday childcare has risen 4 times faster than earnings, new data has shown. That is going over Twitter. How on earth can they expect one-parent families to work either part-time or full-time if they've got to pay for childcare, right? They can't be able to do that because they won't be able to afford for childcare, the childcare costs. So how are they going to do cope? They would have that they're going to either lose their job or lose because they can't afford to work because they've got their kids at home, or they're going to lose their kids because they can't afford the childcare costs. Where are they going to put them? Where are they going to put your kids? That is just disgusting. That is that the childcare cost has risen. I got to retweet that. Or can I retweet it? No, I can't retweet it, you monkey. Hang on. Maybe I can tweet it myself. After we tweeted that, so on here, what's that? Nope. What have we got here? Wow, you never believe it. No, you never believe it unless, like me, you know all what Muslim is about and what their threat and plans are. Muslim gang attacked strangers because they were white, non-Muslims. Wow. That is so wrong. And then what? If a white person, right, attacks someone of the foreign culture, right, we get done and they're deemed as racist. But this Muslim gang attacked the whites, us lot, because we're not Muslim. That is racist. And now, right? So you know what? Why do we get accused of being racist when we're in our own country? It is wrong. Where is it? I'll click on that and see if I see what more it is about it. We've got here, Muslim gang attacked strangers because they were white, non-Muslims in city centre. One page. That is just sick. Those people are thinking that they can cause bodily harm to. I'll share that. These people, right? Look at that. Muslim gang attacked strangers because they were white in non-Muslims in city centre. Rampage, right? These are the Muslim gang who attacked the whites because there wasn't Muslims. And if the whites, say the British whites, attacked these guys here, right, because they weren't white, they weren't English, they weren't British, we would get done for being racist, right? But they done it to us, to the whites, right? So you know what? Every single one of these low-life scumbags, right, are racist towards the whites, right? A group of Muslim men attacked strangers because they were white, non-Muslims in a drugging rampage through a city centre. A dragging rampage through a city centre. Minimum, something like that. I can't read this, sorry. Petrol, all from Bolton three unknown men before two of them set up on Gary, something, Gary, I can't read his surname, when he believed he was Christian, when he revealed he was Christian. So when he revealed he was Christian, that's when they were sort of attacked him. So again, it's another, not just a white racial attack. It's a religious attack. All right. 19 then 19 then filmed 24 punching Paul as his girlfriend tried to protect him. One witness figured that the might be ISIS terrorists offers then the homes of the three men involved. I can't read this, mate. Guys, I cannot read this. I'm not a very good reader, so that's another reason why I'm screen sharing what I'm doing. So this is where the racist attack / white, the racist Christian, a racist religious attack happened. That is not very nice. That's not on. Look at this. It looks like a nice area, but if it's going to have a racist, a religious attack, it's obviously a rough area. But I can't just judge just by this one incident here. But these people, I hope they've been arrested and banged up for what they've done. Because they can't go around causing bodily harm on innocent passers-by just because they're white, just because they're Christian. Right? It's not on. Right. £240,000 from Berry pretending to be a bank. Ooh, that's not looking good. Oh. Right. Now we'll go over and stop the split screen share. That I've done that. That was wrong. Those Muslim men who attacked that white Christian bloke guy, for no apparent reason, I just wish that they'd been arrested and banged up and chucked the key away, because those guys are low-life scumbags. What else have we got here? What the hell? Well, this is British politics, right? And that's the scene that pre-cooked. What's the point in that? Pre-cooked chicken in a tin. That can't be a real thing. That can't be real. How newspaper. Oh shit. How newspaper lies led to Brexit. Hang on, I'm going to share this screen again. Watch this. Watch this, guys. Watch this. Right? See that? How newspaper lies led to Brexit. What they're going to say here about. What's that say? Talk by John for Press and Media Freedom. Oh.
Who's been investigating. Good morning. I'm a journalist who's been investigating journalism. In particular, how the British newspapers have presented immigrants and refugees, and how our press regulator has intervened or not when things have gone wrong, when newspapers have not accurately reported what's been happening. And I haven't liked what I've seen. A daily deluge in some of our media that's spreading hatred towards migrants and refugees. And it should be said at the outset that the distinction between EU migrants, non-EU migrants, illegal migrants, asylum seekers, and refugees are not in these reports. They're lumped together. According to some British media, they're all the same. And in demonstrating this, I want to give some examples of some of the newspaper reports that I've been looking at lately. In particular, a report that led up to the lifting of work restrictions for Romanians and Bulgarians coming to Britain at the beginning of last year. And in the months leading up to that event, some of the British media was spreading great fear that 29 million Bulgarians and Romanians would now be allowed to come to Britain. Well, here was the Daily Mail online story about this. The Daily Mail is the world's most popular online newspaper with almost 200 million online readers. And here it is, confirming everyone's fears. From the 1st of January, the newspaper was claiming that all the planes and buses from Romania and Bulgaria to Britain were full up and sold out. They're on their way. And the readers, there were almost 1,800 comments underneath the story, pre-moderated comments from readers absolutely horrified. Our country's already full. Please don't come here. We don't want you. It churns my stomach to be invaded like this. So all this hatred towards Romanians and Bulgarians in particular, and generally against migrants, was something that this story churned up. But actually, the story turned out to be completely untrue. Flights had not been doubled, as claimed by the Daily Mail, and in not very PR speak, Wizz Air press office told me it's complete rubbish. I was able to get seats on planes and buses, which the Daily Mail claimed were completely full up. The Balkan-Horn Bus Company told me they had less bookings that year than the previous year, and they had plenty of seats, and I was able to book seats on the bus that the Daily Mail claimed was full up. Well, with my journalist colleague, Alina Matis, an investigative journalist from Romania, we teamed up and we analysed this Daily Mail story line by line and came up with 13 serious complaints. We even tracked down people who the Daily Mail claimed to have interviewed who said we were not interviewed. I presented 13 complaints to the Press Complaints Commission, now called IPSO, and it took 7 months of investigation by the Press Complaints Commission, during which time the actual condition of them investigating was that I should shut up. I had to remain quiet. I couldn't report anything for those 7 months. At the end of the 7 months, I was able to say on my own blog that actually, although they didn't agree with all the 13 complaints, the Press Complaints Commission agreed that the Daily Mail had broken the Editor's Code of Practice, which is their ethics code, on probably what is their most serious code one on accuracy. I put this on my blog, which is eu-rope.com. By the way, don't get my blog mixed up with eu-rope.co.uk, because I discovered not long ago that that site specializes in ropes for bondage. Nothing to do with me, Daily Mail, in case you might be in the audience. So I won, but the Press Complaints Commission refused to publish their findings. They refused to tell the Daily Mail that they had to tell the public that they had broken the editor's code of practice on accuracy. I'd spent 7 months being silent, and if I hadn't published the results of our own press regulators' deliberations on this, nobody would ever have known. And I just wonder, I raised the question, whether this has anything to do with it, because this guy, Paul Dacre, is the editor of the Daily Mail, but he has a second job too. He's also in charge of the editor's code of practice, not only for the Press Complaints Commission, but the new organisation IPSO that's taken its place. I raised that as a question. Well, here's another newspaper, Daily Express. You might wonder, why am I concentrating on the Daily Mail and the Daily Express? Well, by far, they have more complaints against them than any other newspaper to our press regulator. This is a story from some years ago. Doesn't matter, because not much has changed in the intervening time. This is a typical Daily Express story against immigrants who are milking the system. And again, they don't distinguish immigrants, asylum seekers, refugees, illegal immigrants. According to this story, they're all the same. I analysed it and came up with multiple factual errors in this story. It was complete nonsense. And yet, based on this, a lot of xenophobia is raised. For example, one inaccuracy: hordes of illegal immigrants are queuing to be smuggled into Britain to claim benefits. What the newspaper didn't tell anyone is that illegal immigrants are not entitled to any benefits. And you wonder, what is the motive for a newspaper like the Daily Express to do stories like this? Well, here's one idea. You can ring them and vote on whether you think these illegal immigrants should get benefits that they're not entitled to get in the first place. If you vote yes or no, the Daily Express still makes a lot of money out of it. Here's a more recent story from August. 2 Daily Mail stories about refugees from Calais coming to Britain. And you'll notice that in the headlines and in the first parts of the story, they don't refer to them as asylum seekers or refugees. They're referred to as illegals or illegal migrants. In the first story, it was claimed that these Calais stowaways, as they're called, were being put up in hotels, hundreds of them, according to the Daily Mail. In actual fact, the truth of the story was that 100 asylum seekers were put up in hotels temporarily, not for very long, and you can't really call them illegals. They were accepted as asylum seekers. In the second story, it said that 7 out of 10 Calais migrants were getting into the UK. That was also untrue, and I'm going to come on to that. Let's deal with the first story briefly first. This is how the Daily Mail want to present these asylum seekers. Heaven forbid, they're being given food. And to just demonstrate the point, let's see a sandwich and some chips. That's the sort of food these asylum seekers are being given. How awful. Welcome to Soft Touch UK, where asylum seekers are going to get £5 a day subsistence to live on. Terrible. And what about the other story? Well, this is the Chief Constable of Kent, who told our Parliament that within 4 months, 70% of the refugees, migrants, asylum seekers, whatever you want to call them, who are camped in what's known as the jungle in Calais, 70% of them within 4 months disperse. But no one really knows where they go. Some of them may come to Britain, some of them may go to other parts of Europe or claim asylum in France. That's what he said. But what the Daily Mail chose to report was that the Chief Constable of Kent said that all of them come to Britain, all 70%. And based on those statistics, the Daily Mail Statistics Department was able to do some very convoluted numbers of people who were getting to Britain. I reported this to Parliament and to the Kent Police. They thanked me. The Kent Police insisted to the Daily Mail that they publish a correction, which they did, but the correction was incorrect. So what does this lead to? A newspaper that can spread lies, that promotes xenophobia. So we end up with cartoons that are acceptable. Cilla Black was a famous personality, a TV star, who had recently died. And here she is queuing up to heaven, and the Daily Mail feel that they can say, sorry for the long queue into heaven, Cilla, but there's a lot of illegals who are ahead of you. Illegals mean asylum seekers, 2,600 of whom drowned on the Mediterranean. And this is how a leading newspaper in Great Britain is depicting that. Well, what's the difference between that sort of cartoon and this cartoon from Germany in 1936, where a Jewish man is shown politely asking for room on a bench, after which he shoves off the previous occupant, and the caption asserts that Jews behave in this way in other situations. What's the difference between that and this from the Daily Mail of August, where, because they say our hotels are full of these illegals, a British elderly couple are told they're going to have to tell these asylum seekers to shove over to make room for them. Well, only this week, Home Secretary of Great Britain, Theresa May, gave a speech to say how mass immigration to Britain was not good for the country. Mass immigration in a country where just 12% of our population is foreign-born, actually similar to Germany, similar to most other modern Western countries. Not that unusual, but she went on to say that immigration had zero value to the country. Immigration actually meant that British people were losing jobs. Is it any wonder that because of that rhetoric from our government, a government incidentally who is also planning to scrap our Human Rights Act and talking about leaving the European Convention on Human Rights, is it any wonder if the government can play that sort of rhetoric, that we can have newspaper columnists, for instance, in The Sun, referred to migrants as cockroaches? And what she meant wasn't migrants, really. They're not using the right terminology. These are refugees and asylum seekers. Well, Genocide Watch is an organization that keeps an eye on these things. And they've said that there are actually 8 steps to genocide. And for my reckoning, we're probably on step number 3. The dehumanization of a group of people, in this case, migrants and refugees. They're all foreigners, talking about them as vermin and cockroaches, putting them across in a way which makes them subhuman. So from my observation, it looks to me that we have a media that promotes xenophobia, parts of it, and I should add that there are millions of people in Great Britain who do not feel this way. There are millions of people in Britain who actually are supportive of refugees. There are hundreds of thousands of businesses who hire immigrants and are very pleased that they're available to be hired. But in the backdrop of media and government, it seems to me that we may well be on step 3 on the 8 steps to genocide. And I really hope that I am wrong. Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope he's wrong, but I doubt he is. I mean, I doubt he is wrong. You know what? There's one thing. No one in that, none of his speech has he mentioned what they're going to help and what they're going to do about, because we do have too much foreign people in this country taking our council housing, taking our social housing for the British born citizen, right? My own brother, and right, who at the moment can't afford to buy his own house because the price of property nowadays has skyrocketed, and all that. Can't afford to get on the housing list. and people who like my brother, it's been turned away for like help by the councils, help by housing associations with getting a housing association house, social housing, right? People like myself who's getting victimised because with say personal budget, it needs that personal budget to live. I live in supported housing. Yes, I've got my own property, right? But I need that support while I'm alive. Where's that support? What I need is getting taken away from me. It's getting taken away from not just from me, but other people that like me as well, right? So what are we gonna do? We're just gonna sit back there and allow it, are we? I don't think we should, right? Hang on, there's a video on here that I actually quite like. Not like it as in like it's a good little one, which I've seen before. See if I can find it. There it is.
London's burning.
Right, I do that and screen share this one. Right, this video here, I had to go out like the way this young man actually puts his point across. It makes you keep. He's making you keep his your mind on what he's saying. Your mind on what he's saying because the way he's worded it. All right, so please take a look. Listen to this.
London's burning. London's burning with desire to find a way to fight the fire, but it's burning bright throughout the night and the feelings feeling dire. In the wake of loss of life, it feels insensitive to talk political, but when the evidence points to negligence, the situation is critical. In the nation's wealthiest borough, there exists another half, a half of lookers on, of workers strong, no strangers to the graft. These folks are fueled by hope, the working broke. This inequality is not new. And though they're the neighbours of the wealthiest, their only luxury is the view. Last year, that building had 10 million spent on through and through refurbishment. Well, surely that's good news. Was it made safer to inhabit? More convenient to use, right? Because what's the price of human life? What amount could they not fetch? Working fire alarms, a sprinkler system, what the budget couldn't stretch. According to the BAFSA, for approximately 300k, they could have had a sprinkler system fitted. But for £10 million, they did the rounds, and who was benefited? An aesthetic authority is a pathetic priority, while the majority continue in abject poverty, while burned by the baseless brunt of austerity and punished for their lack of financial prosperity. All that cash, and here is the mad thing. They found the funds for brand new cladding, encased in a case of flammable wrapping. New padding for the luxury flats they keep adding. Nothing changes. We've all seen Titanic. We know when disaster strikes and folks feel panic, put the shutters down because some must drown. Put first class in boats, leave the rest to man it. Another tale of safety forgot, so the decking can look all neat. But have we learnt nothing? Have we not come far? Why must we still feel the heat? There's a neglect of time, a neglect of care, a neglect of funds, a neglect of fare, neglecting here and neglecting there. Governance for the few, and I don't think that's fair. I'm glad the PM met with firefighters, but why can't she meet locals or comfort survivors? A public inquiry is not the right thing to do. They will brush it under the carpet just to see it goes through. We must demand a criminal inquest by hell or high water and call this what it is: corporate manslaughter.
So I actually like what that guy was saying, and you were saying it, and they're making it sound, and make it sort of rhyme, so it stands out in your mind. And I actually like what you were saying. He is a clever young man. Well done to him. I actually believe in Brexit. I think we'd be better if we weren't in Europe. There was no such thing as Europe years and years ago, right? Who was it that invented Europe? That invented the Europe, the EU, Europe? Who invented it? Who invented the EU? Because we didn't have it back then, right? And I'm pretty sure that was fucking Margaret Sodding Thatcher and her fucking cronies, right? She's fucked this country over big time, right? And so has Tony Blair and all that shitty wank, all those wank stains, right? We need to get out of the EU. We need Brexit, and we need Brexit fast. Because if we survived, if we won and survived all these world wars, and we fought and won these world wars, right? I believe we can survive Brexit and become our own country yet again. Let's bring the great back to Great Britain, because at the moment Great Britain is not Great Britain. Great Britain is just Britain, and if we carry on the way we're going, Britain won't be actually Britain. It'd be something else. It'd be overrun, right? And by every Tom, Dick, and Harry, because the booking, because the British government, right, is not running this country the way it should be run. Like, for instance, if I myself was running this country, right, I would actually not allow someone from another country to come over here without a trade that we want. America does it. Australia does it. So why can't we? You can't go to America or Australia or other countries, right, without a trade and a trade what they want, right? You can't go to their country and get their benefits, their healthcare, their. You know what I mean? So why are these people coming over here and getting our benefits, our free healthcare, right? A house of our country, benefits of our government. You know what? Do you know why they're coming over here? Do you know why these foreign countries are wanting to come over to Britain? Because Britain is the world's doormat. That's what we are. We're the world's doormat. We need to stop being a walkover. Listen to me. Listen to me. I want every British government, member of the British government, to listen to what we're saying. If you carry on the way you're going, you can make our country the doormat of the world. You're making us be walked right over. We don't want that. That's what we are wanting to come out of. That's why we're wanting to come out of the EU, to get the control back up our borders, and not to stop the foreign cultures coming into our country, but control our borders, so control who's coming in, and we want our country to be run for us and respect us, and want us as the British nationals, the British public, to be taken care of and looked after before that you guys look after the foreign nations, the foreign cultures and all that. Look after your own people first. Then, if you would like to, look after them. That's what we're saying. Don't just give the foreign cultures, the foreign people, our benefits. It's our benefits. You know what the foreigners are doing? They're getting the house over here, all right? They're getting the benefits over here, keeping the benefits they're getting attached to that property, right? And then, and keeping that property registered here, and then getting the benefits on that property. Then they're moving back, sort of bugging off back to their own country and living like lords, because the British pound is worth more. I mean, their country is over here. That's what they're doing. A lot of them, that's exactly what they're doing. Or if they're not doing that, they're sending money back, right? They're living here on pittance and sending a lot of their money back to their country, so their families who can live like lords. Right? Their countries are thriving on the money that this country, this government is giving them. Are you going to allow that? Right? That's how this country is getting poorer and poorer by the fucking minute. Because the fucking foreigners. Stop doing that. Stop letting them in. Stop giving them the benefits. Give the benefits to the British-born citizen, people who has a British birth certificate, a British passport, people who was actually literally born in this country. Right? Another thing is people who are old enough and ugly enough to get up there off their backsides and get a job. Get a job. Stop benefit scrounging. There's people out there that need that money to live their life. People who lives in supported housing because of their disabilities don't allow them to work. People who physical disabilities, people with learning disabilities who can't get up and get out and get a job. We need that money more than what you guys do, to get off your fat lazy backsides and get out and get a job. All you guys are who can actually get off your fat lazy backsides and get a job. All you are benefit scoundrels. Get up off your backside and get a job. Right? You're lazy. Right? I know too many of you. I know a lot of you out there, right? Personally myself, who are actually old enough and ugly enough to get off your fat backside and get a job. You are lazy, no good, benefit scoundrels. Do yourself a favour and get yourself a job. And don't tell me there's no jobs up there to get. It's called getting yourselves up there, right? Putting yourselves up there, going out there day in, day out, right? Asking for jobs. They'll soon get stuck and get bored of you keep going in there day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, asking for a job that they will give you a trial run. So what do you think? And I've got a fewer. What do you think? What do you think about what I'm saying? Please let me know. Please view me. Please tell me. Give me your. Hello?
Hello, Glenn. I just seen you on YouTube.
Is it you? It's sharing this.
Yeah, you was saying get up your lazy ass and get a job.
Yeah, of course I fucking was.
Yeah, you were telling people you know people like that. Hold on.
Not you though.
I have got problems.
I'm not talking about you, dude. I'm not talking about you, dude, because. Huh?
I wouldn't mind case for BS here now.
Have ya? Cool.
Yeah, I want it, yeah.
But what do you think?
Looking for my chat.
What do you think I was saying about it, though?
Well, you're mainly looking at people who are just being scoundrels, really.
Yeah, and then and also the government is letting these foreign cultures come over here, right, and get like a council property, house association property, right, and then and then have them have benefits. Then they should be allowed to do that.
Yeah, lazy people should get a job.
Yeah, they should.
And I know this is live on YouTube.
Yeah. Come on, say something.
Yeah, get a job. Get a job. Stop being a benefit scrounger.
Pardon? What?
Seen that, Glenn?
What?
You face the camera facing your computer screen, so I'll be seen on YouTube.
Oh yes, dude. what? I'm not going to do it again.
Trying to make a cigarette, you know.
So, but what do you think?
I'm trying to make a cigarette.
But what I've been saying? What do you think I've been? What I've been saying?
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't watch it all. I only watched the end bit just there.
Uh-huh.
About people scrounging money off the government and basically people making their own families to claim more benefits to get more money out of the government,
Yeah.
which I think is wrong. And I think it's right what they've done where they're only paying for 2 children, because the more children that they're having, the more money they're getting.
I
2
don't.
children is
Right.
quite efficient.
I think the British people who are just wanting to sit back on their backsides, wanting to claim benefit, but they're old enough and ugly enough to get off their fat backside to get a fucking job, a lady, and I know a lot of them.
Well, I used to work, but I got laid off because of my illness.
I know. I used to work, but I got laid off because I was medically signed off. I can't go back to work.
Not only that, I've got a friend, right?
Yeah.
Who's got a son.
Really? Got
And
friends?
obviously, yeah, but the thing is that her son's got hydrocephalus, the same as you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't know at first, and I thought, hang on, I know somebody who's got that situation. I said, my friend's got that as well. I was like, okay. And apparently when he was 1, he had, I forgot what they call it now, shunt or something to put in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had one of them put in just when he turned 1. And people like that do deserve to be on benefits. People who are born like that, it can't be helped.
Yeah. I must say, some people can get up and work, but it depends on, because every disability affects people differently.
Exactly. It's like what I've got isn't like a disease or anything, but it's classed as like self-harm, isn't it? Really?
Yeah,
like
you may not want to catch it.
depression. Well, you can't catch it, but
I know that. I'm joking, you dude.
things can trigger it off, like depression. Things like people putting horrible stuff about people on Facebook, which has recently happened to me.
Yeah. What?
Which I don't know if you've seen that post.
No, I haven't really been on Facebook just lately. I've been on Facebook, but I haven't been doing much. I haven't been viewing people's profiles because I've been doing other things.
Well, I'm not mentioning names because you're live on YouTube and it could get back to the person. But all I can say is the person is getting 2 counts of, what's it called? I can't think of the word now.
Benefits?
2 counts of malicious. What's the word?
Complaint?
Malicious communications.
Malicious. So they're making rumours. They're doing rumours.
This person's been charged with 2 malicious counts of communication. 1 against me.
Yeah.
And 1 to my sister. I pressed charges, so was my sister.
So they're trying to start trouble.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I don't like troublemakers like that do claim benefits, making out they're working when they're not.
Yeah.
And that's one thing my sister hit. People who are basically sick. My sister used to be on benefits herself on the sick, but she got herself off her ass.
Yeah.
Managed to get a full-time job. And, you know, she knows I can't cope on my own at home sometimes, which she understands I need to be on benefits because I need help.
Yeah.
Like from house support, things like that. That's what we're there for, to help you.
Yeah. But
But
that's
people
one
like
thing.
what happened to me the other day,
You and your sister are both British. They've got a British passport, part British birth certificate. So you should be entitled to the benefits that you're getting if you need that benefit.
I'm British.
You know what I mean? You should be.
My sister's British, yeah, but we're still part of Britain.
Yeah, as I'm saying, you're British. You've got a British passport, sort of thing, British certificate, right? You should be entitled,
Birth certificate, yeah.
right? You should be entitled to that benefit. But there's people out there who are actually fucking foreigners that getting the fucking British benefits, getting the British, getting help by the British housing team in the main, and then the British government give them the money.
I think you should get the word out there. They should stop all payments to people who are coming in from different countries just to claim benefits so they can live and do nothing and do whatever.
Yeah.
Things like that should be over here working to help our country.
They should be put into the.
Say someone has got a serious condition, right, that's very rare, right? We need surgeons that are like from abroad to help with operations and stuff like that to save people's lives.
Yeah.
Not to let the Muslims in and the ISIS attacking us all.
Yeah.
ISIS can go and fuck themselves.
I think if they want to come over to this country.
No, something though. One moment. I'm going to tell you one thing as well. The person who actually set the bomb off in Manchester used the money that the government gave him as a grant for a university to make that bomb to blow the place up.
Yeah.
Because it was on the news. It's disgusting and atrocious.
Yeah, but there should be.
This country.
Yeah. But they shouldn't be giving these foreigners the British benefits, because if we went out to any other country, would we get the benefits? We didn't get anything from that country.
Say, for example, we go to Pakistan or anything like that. We try to get benefits, we get our heads chopped off.
If you ask for any support from any other country, they won't get it because we're not from their country. We're foreigners in their country. But they come over here and they get all the help that we get, and probably even more, right? Because they're from a different foreign country. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I can stand someone from abroad that are working here. I cannot. What on earth are your dogs doing?
They're my mum's dogs.
Oh. So where's Miss Trouble at then?
Who?
Candy.
She's down there.
Candy. Where's Candy?
Under the desk.
Oh,
Yeah.
But yeah, I do agree with you, but ISIS can go and fuck themselves. They can leave our country alone.
Yeah. Oh, do.
You know what I mean? They come over here, right? They get money, and then they're trying to change our religion for this country to turn us all to fucking Islam.
Yeah.
They can fuck off. This is our country. We were born in this country. They don't like it. They can fuck off back on the banana boats.
I know.
Not being racist or anything. But true.
No, you're not being racist. You're not being racist one bit. You're speaking your mind. All right. I've seen just today, all right, that a group of Muslim men attacked a white man, right, for no apparent reason, because he was Christian. Right?
Because he was a Christian.
Yeah, but if we now attacked these, say, Muslim men, we would get done for being racist. I mean,
Well, it's all right for them to beat us up.
yeah. So it's okay for these Muslim or these foreign cultures to be racist and be offensive to us, but as soon as we do it to them, we're racist. You know what I mean? Which is wrong. That is our country. They should live to our rules and regulations. And if they're not willing to do that,
I think, Glenn, this is my personal view, right? I think the government should get off their lazy asses and get something done about it.
yeah, they should do. But they won't, because you know what? They don't want to be seen as being what's the word? Racist. But look, I'm saying something and I'm speaking up and saying what I think live over freaking YouTube. I'll probably get comments saying you racist bastard. But you know what? I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck them.
I'm
This
not-
is our country.
I don't-
British should be proud of it.
I'm not being racist. I'm not racist. I'm speaking up, and I'm not frightened of speaking up. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's like this, right, Glenn? You see all the footballers around the world, yeah?
Yeah.
You see all, like, the football clubs like there's England, there's Pakistan, Africa and all that. When they do all the Olympics, there's no racism goes on them because it's all mixed race people doing the Olympics.
Yeah.
And when it's football, there's no racism.
Yeah.
They're only fighting over the team.
Yeah.
But when it comes to them wanting to be in our country, they think they can tell us what to do.
Exactly. Because the thing.
I'd like to see them come back from dog because they get a good eye. They go for me, they get beaten back.
There's like, for instance, there's a support worker here who works at a service unit, another sort of for an agency. No one for bring him round, introduce him to the people who lives here, right? And introduce him. He could have been anyone. It could have been an ex-murderer. I'm not saying he is, huh?
Exactly.
For me,
you don't know these days. You can't trust anybody. You've got to be careful.
I know. I'm not saying he is. It could be the nicest. It could have been a really nice bloke. But I was out.
It's like recently, I've had shit on Facebook recently over the weekend, and I've won the case about it.
Is that why you wasn't answering?
That's why I wasn't answering at the moment. Yes, because I've had a bit of trouble, which I don't want to mention my name because people who watch YouTube will know me.
Yeah, I'm not asking. I'm not mentioning your name.
Yeah, I'm not mentioning my name. Yeah, for certain reasons, because these people could be watching it on YouTube. I don't know.
Well, at the moment, I've got no viewers. So.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. Thanks. I want the viewers.
I was doing it, and then I thought, you know what? I'll ring him on Facebook.
Yeah, you should have commented.
It won't let me comment.
Why not?
I don't know. It's locked me out on my phone for some reason. It won't let me comment on anyone's things on YouTube.
What are you like?
I don't know.
Oh yeah. It's one of those things. One of those things.
Yeah, there's something I need to talk to you about off YouTube though as well.
What's that?
Do with my cameras.
Cameras? Oh yeah. What your cameras?
Something to do with them. I can't say it on YouTube.
I want them.
Yeah.
I will be ending it soon because
Alright, okay.
I will be ending the live stream soon.
Any views, are you? It's just there on the internet, and then if anyone sees it, they'll be like, "Oh, I know that face."
Huh? But I'm doing live streams.
Just remember, Hell's Bells might be watching this because she's on YouTube.
I know. She subscribed to me, and I'll subscribe to her. I've got her on Facebook as well. So. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've deleted a lot of people off Facebook. The amount of trouble I've had, I've deleted about 500 people.
Why? Just hide your timeline from them. Block your timeline.
I've deleted them. I don't talk to them. So why have people on there you don't talk to?
Because they probably still want to find out what you're up to. You've got nothing to hide. Just show them. Nine.
Yeah, well, that's just nosy people for you. They like to cause trouble. To be honest, Facebook should be banned.
Facebook, I don't think it should be banned. I think Facebook is good. I think Facebook needs to get the facts straight. That gives you Facebook.
Good at certain things, but it's good at causing trouble for people too.
Yeah, Facebook is a friendship network, right? But
for example, Glenn, say you see something on Facebook and you don't like the person, you think, oh, I'm going to show that person who we're talking about, and then it causes World War III all over the internet.
Oh yeah. But you know what? Facebook is supposed to be a social network, right? But it's not been, a lot of the time, it doesn't get used as a friendship network. It gets used, right, as a slagging off network. And people slag each other off and then saying, oh, you said this, or you done that. And I thought, hang on. And I've commented on a couple of these people's statuses. I went, hang on. Facebook happens to be speaks letters.